Oh shit.
Oh my God. Shoes on and everything.
Well, it's just easier to leave them on.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Fucked my foot.
We don't have to.
Remember it was his birthday last week? Maybe we spoke about that last week.
Yeah, last week.
All right. It's been a bit of a menacing time since then.
It's been 5 days and it still feels like I've been hit by a bus.
I broke my foot. Dan's fucking still depressed.
Still depressed. I don't know. The wine was good. The wine was great.
I can't remember the wine at
Went
all.
to a winery. Anyway, here we are.
Welcome back to the Split Shit Podcast, where we cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness industry. My name is Jamie.
My name is Dan. Welcome to a new episode. We've got some opinions for you today. We're running through the cycle. Last week we had some pretty compelling questions. We did a speed run before that. This week we're going to ruffle some feathers and we want to talk about some things.
There are a few things we want to talk about. There are two things we want to talk about in particular.
Two things. Two key things.
I don't really know what the fuck he's going to say yet because I saw it we have a little note when we do these sort of things, and I saw it and I'm like, okay.
And I forgot
Can't
yours.
what the fuck it was.
I forgot
I'm
yours.
excited. It's like a little present to me as well. You know?
Yeah,
I think I'm kicking us off anyway.
Yes, you are. Well, we have, how long we got? We got 5 minutes to talk about this polarizing opinions. And we're also going to be bouncing our opinions on it as well, because we may align with it. We may be different. You might agree with us. You probably won't. Who knows?
You probably won't. You probably won't.
You probably won't.
Let's be real.
No.
You're not going to agree with us.
We're so unique.
Did we find out whose move it was from last time?
Nope. I got 2 queens.
Yeah, you do have 2 queens. You have a little deformed.
Isn't that funny, actually? I'm only getting it now.
that?
Queen and a king is exactly the same design without the cross at the top.
Yeah, maybe just in this set. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, no, you're right.
It's like
they weren't very creative with the designing. Anyway, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, let's go.
And we got some shit to talk about. I got some shit to talk about here. I don't really know what the fuck I'm going to say about it, but this is an opinion that I have, which is you think that you care, but you actually don't give a shit about your health. You think you care about it, but more than likely, you actually don't give a fuck or a shit. You don't care. And that's totally fine. Look, it's a bit extreme. You may care a little bit. Caring's fine. But at the end of the day, if you care, you will do the thing. If you are showing up and you say you care about your health and fitness, you care about your health goals, but you're skipping those fucking workouts, you're meal prepping or failing to meal prep, they're not in your meal prep, you're not doing the things that you need to do to get to the result that you want, even though you say that you care, and it's such a low priority in the list of your life, you probably don't give a fuck. And that's totally okay. It often will come back to framing, how you frame this area of your life. You do care about your kids. You're not going to leave them hungry for days without food. It is your responsibility to feed them. You say you care about your fiddle leaf fig. You say you care about your plants. You tell me you care, yet you don't water them, and then they die. You probably didn't care that much, you know? Again, it comes back to framing. When it comes to yourself, you say you care, you're not following through. Why is that? You think that to care or to show up, you need to prioritize it massively. It's not about making this the biggest priority in your life. I've spoken about this before. It's not about making your health and fitness a top priority, because that will be unrealistic to maintain. You may be able to treat it as a top priority for 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks if you're fucking really locked in. But outside from that, life is going to happen. Unless you are a personal trainer, unless you do live in the fucking gym, life happens and it's unrealistic for that to be your top priority unless you do have 0 other obligations, unless you are retired and this is the only thing that actually is going on in your life. We need to understand that and instead frame it in a way where you can show up because of the things that you actually care about. Find out what you actually care about. Is it your kids? Is it your work? Is it fucking that holiday coming up? You know, the things that are actually the things that light you up, the things that you are passionate about, that get you excited, or maybe not even get you excited, the things that you would fucking die for, the things that would put your life on the line or spend a lot of money on or whatever it is, the things that you actually give a fuck about. Reframe this area of your life to understand how is this going to benefit me for these values and things that I actually fucking care about. So first things first, you need to adjust and reframe this whole area for one. First thing, reframe. Understand that I may not care enough about this to make this a top priority. And that's totally fucking fine. What do I care about? All right, understand, I do care about my kids. If that's your thing, I care about my kids. Let's see, how is me showing up with more energy, more vitality, more confidence, the ability to back myself? How am I gonna show up better for my kids? Am I gonna be able to do more things outside? How am I gonna show up better at work? Am I gonna be able to speak up in those meetings when I'm feeling very reserved and unconfident? Is that extra confidence in my own skin, is that gonna help me show up better in meetings? Is that gonna help me actually progress my career? Because I'm gonna be able to ask for that fucking pay rise. I'm going to be able to ask my boss, even though it's fucking terrifying, what do I need to do to progress my career? I need to actually focus on myself first. I actually need to focus on my health and fitness, because if I disrespect myself in this area, this is the only area of my life where I'm 100% responsible for. It is unbelievably true that this area is going to dictate, well, not dictate necessarily, but this will leach out into other areas of your life. If you are not showing up for yourself here, it will have a negative effect on other areas. You know, unless you do have your blinders on, you can just go for it. That's also fine as well. Reframe. Then from there, adjust the commitment that you're making. We speak about this all the fucking time as well. Make sure that when you are committing to something, your goal and your only fucking priority, your only focus there is following through with what you say you're going to do. If you do say you are going to do something in this area, you must follow through and actually fucking do it. If you don't, then you are proving to yourself that you actually don't give a fuck. Your only goal is to actually show yourself that you do care. The only way you're going to be able to do that is if you show up for yourself in this area with small 1% wins. So when you do say, my goal is to exercise once a day each week, don't say you need to go to the gym for an hour. Say I need to go for at least a walk and at best a gym session. But I need to get in this health and fitness room of my life at least once each fucking day. Whatever that looks like for you, it does not matter. But make sure whatever you say you're going to do, you do follow through. I think that'll pretty much fucking do it. It's not that you don't care. It's that you can care about lots of things. It doesn't mean you actually give a fuck. It doesn't mean that you would give one whole fuck to getting that result. It's about how do we actually shift in your mind how you view this area. Instead of making it about the fact that you want it to be a priority, instead of making it about the fact that it'll be nice to have, it's not about a nice to have, it's about what is fucking essential for my life. If me not showing up as my best for all these other areas is not an essential, I'm not gonna fucking do it. So you probably don't give a fuck. Let's change that right fucking now.
I think we need to start making these 6 minutes. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, well said, man.
I looked at the thing and it was like 3 minutes left. And then I just
rolled off.
I lost.
Rolled off.
I only got through like half the things I wanted to say as well, literally. But
it was very well said.
We probably could have fucking
spoken about this for a while.
Yeah.
Realistically, this one's a big one.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's
no,
it.
I've got nothing. Honestly, that was very well put. Exactly how you mentioned it. Like your why is everything, and exactly what a nice haves, what a need to haves, and the clear difference is like, yeah, of course, like people want to make more money, be financially secure and stuff like that. But people want to have these things, be nice to have these things, but people don't know necessarily care enough to want to push and make those sacrifices or whatever things they need to do. So what really drives with something from a want to a need is purely an alignment of why do you actually give a fuck about it? It's your why. Everything. It's all related to your why. Why do you need, why do you want these goals? Why do you need these goals? Why do you need to keep showing up, especially in your good days and your bad days? It's fucking stupidly important. And that's where when you're thinking of, especially if you're listening to this in your the early days of your journey and stuff like that, it's all about what promises are you going to keep saying to yourself? Exactly what Jimbo said. Follow through on the promises that you're going to say that you do, because you are constantly stacking proof. Either way, you're stacking proof that you are the person that you say you are. You're stacking proof that you're not the person, you don't give a fuck. You're stacking proof somewhere, but what proof do you want to actually prove to yourself? And that's where the momentum really gets built, because it compounds. It compounds over time. You're going to be initially slower, but from that 10-minute walk will turn into 20. That gym session will turn to 3. That going into doing the classes, it becomes more of an active living. You create this identity around it. This all happens through momentum over time. It's not just a flick and you're done. It's a nurturing, it's a building. Don't talk about plants. Water your own plant. Let it nurture, let it grow. And then watch what happens.
Watch what happens.
Watch what happens.
Yeah. Everybody cares. Everybody reckons they care. You probably don't fucking care.
Deep down. You know
Deep down, you don't give a fuck. But if you do, shift it. Or maybe you don't know that you do. Often people will put a mask up and because it's extremely uncomfortable to think about. It's extremely uncomfortable to often think about, how am I going to show up in 5 years if I don't change? How the fuck am I going to show up in 10 years if I stay the same? I'm going to actually be going backwards because I'm getting older, getting more ailments, life's getting crazier. Fuck, if I actually don't show up for myself in 5-10 years, I will fucking care, you know? So maybe it's not the fact that you don't care, it's just the fact that you don't know why you care. Yeah. You don't know that you care, and you think that caring just means, oh no, I'd like that. I would like to have that, yeah. I would also love to have a fucking Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I would really, really, really love to have a Lamborghini. Do I want to do the things I need to do to get a fucking Lamborghini right now? Probably fucking not. Yeah. I don't care about it that much. You know?
I was actually having this discussion with someone that a lot of this is just a battle of the ego. It's always going to be a battle of the ego. Like I know for myself, like where I show up in, not just in my fitness and health life, but I try to relate it to my clients and say, fitness and health is easy for me. This is my life. This is our life. Like we can't compare ourselves to our clients because this is literally, we live and breathe. We live at the fucking gym. We're there for like hours and hours a day. We have no excuse. We're doing this thing for life. But what I find, I find a comparable point is like business. Business is a big deal for me. That is a very hard thing for me as well because that's a battle of the ego. Sometimes, in fitness and health can be a battle of the ego to say that like you want these things, but you don't want to dig into the actual truth because things are protecting you. Things that you're trying to avoid certain things. Like I avoid my insecurities and other areas of my life that I feel like I'm lacking in. But if I'm going to stay the same, I'm going to stay the same. And then you're right. It's going to hit a point where it could be a week down the track, or it could be 6 months or 10 years down the track where you finally had enough to say, fuck this, I've had enough. There's too much pain. You could be able to find that yourself right now if you want to. If you really care, talk to someone about it, talk to a coach. Literally, we can find that for you.
Yes.
Nice.
Do that. Do all those things.
Anyway.
Very, very important. Also, if you do purchase the iPhone 17.
Is it good?
It's good it's great as soon as you turn the fucking camera button off. This has been the bane of my fucking existence for 3 days.
What do you mean?
So the camera button is extremely fucking sensitive. And camera button is extremely sensitive. Since I got the quad lock case, it's got the little button added. So my previous case had one of those, like a cutout.
Yeah.
So
it's a divot.
Yeah, so a divot. But you brush past it, you're in the camera. I was taking a group class trying to turn the music up. I'm like, why the fuck is this not turning up? I took 20 photos.
Just taking so heaps of
Oh man.
just like, stuff, he's just like,
what the fuck?
Why wasn't working?
Turn it off, horrible. But now that I turn it off, I can't get to fucking this one cool feature, which was the Vision AI or some shit, where you can literally like scan a plant, it tells you what the plant is, shit like that. Yeah, it's sick.
I did not know that.
No,
is that just exclusive to that?
Well, yeah, it's part of this, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You're at a 16. I got the 16.
I can turn it back on so you can see if you want.
I would love to, but I should probably, for our beautiful.
We should probably start.
Well, look at your beautiful faces right there, just waiting for us.
Button.
Let me tell you my polarizing opinion. I'm actually going to change it because I want to make it more polarizing.
Unless you want to see this real quick.
Yep.
So let's go. We'll go here, and where's the fucking fiddle leaf fig? There you go. Oh, came up fiddle leaf fig.
Fuck, that is so cool, man.
Cool. So if you ever want to know plants, actually, and you can actually just search things. So
I'm going to change it up a little bit, but I'm going to think on the fly and it's going to make sense. So my polarizing opinion is, you say you want to create a lifestyle in health and fitness, but you won't do the things necessary for you to maintain your results. We are in a culture, we're in a society where there is access to fucking everything. You've got AI, you've got the access of information out there. There's so much challenges that you can pick from. There's different, all these, alternative diets, whatever it may be. You say you want to create a lifestyle, but you won't do the actual work so you can be able to maintain your results. Maintaining results is by far the hardest thing that people do not talk about enough. It's what happens when you lose the weight. It's what happens when you succeed and you get to the light at the end of the tunnel. Now what? What are you left with? What is your foundations looking like? And a lot of the times when people are doing these challenges, honestly, we sound like we're very anti-challenges. It's actually pretty good. Like, they're actually great. They're good boosts of energy, like boosts of motivation, whatever it is. You can really amplify your results in a short amount of time. That's awesome. But people are very dependent on that shit. And when they're looking to a lifestyle, you can't live your lifestyle living challenges all the time, because it takes immense levels of sacrifice and an intense level of commitment. And you have to, put your blinders on. You have to make these changes, like drastic changes in a short amount of time. But that's okay, because it's a short amount of time. It's 8 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it may be. You can deal with that. But to create as a lifestyle around it, it doesn't work. But what do people do? They focus on doing the things that can get them the result, but they don't think about what happens at the end. And it goes back to the foundations. What are they left with? So they do this drastic change of, I've done all this stuff, now I'm left with a shitty foundation where we're left with sand, and that house is completely toppling. We've got no foundation there. So people, what happens? They resort back to what they did before. They resorted back to the habits that they were left before the result, which ultimately keeps them stuck in this cycle. And this creates all or nothing thinking. This creates yo-yoing, stuff like that. We talk about this a lot on the podcast. When we're looking at lifestyle, it is going to be boring. It is going to take more time. It's going to be, it takes a lot more conscious effort, yes, for a longer period of time, and it takes a lot more inner work. We talk about this all the time. Now, when we're looking to shift this to say, no, like, you know what, Dan, Jimbo, I actually want to create a lifestyle in health and fitness. What do I need to do? What are the tangible steps that we need to do? Okay, first off, you need to be able to see where are things at right now. Where are you right now in your life? Are you just starting out? Are you just going for walks? Are you doing nothing? It's fine. You've got a baseline to work with. Everyone has a baseline of something. It's a matter of just understanding where that is. To there, you're going to create a North Star. You're going to find your North Star to say, okay, how do I ideally want to live my life? Look beyond the actual of the 8 weeks. Look beyond just the weight loss. How do you want to show up in the areas of your life? What do you actually give a fuck about? Something we talk about a lot when this ideal self, or people, that we say, let's just say ideal self. We do so many of these chats with goal sessions with our clients, and a lot of the time it's not just about, I want to just be losing weight. It's more about how they want to live their life. Healthy, vibrant, happy, stress-free, relationship, a great relationship with food, wearing the clothing they want to wear, not even have to look in the mirror and to say, yuck, whatever it may be, stuff like that. How, be able to have the energy to, wake up in the morning or spend time with my kids and not feel like I'm on the couch, whatever it may be. That is your North Star. That's the bigger picture. You're filtering through the noise of the temptation of what challenges and stuff like that, or, these quick fixes can offer. And what we do then, again, just like what Jimbo spoke about again, is the tangible, small little steps that you're making along the way. One of my favorite quotes of all time, and I talk about this, I say this to every single client of mine: don't focus on the whole staircase, just focus on the first step. What is one thing that you can show up that week that you can say 100%, yes, I can do this? Literally what we said before, momentum is everything. You're not going to lose that weight and keep that result off by doing these big jumps, like you're trying to hopscotch and go to the next thing. It doesn't necessarily work like that. It needs time. You need to let it build. So what is that one thing that you can show up? And this is where I said before, it's like a battle of the ego, right? Because of course we would just want to say, oh, I'm just going to go and just fucking drop my cows and just go do all this cardio and fucking do all these massive changes, because yes, it's going to give you the result that it can help out, but a lot of time you can't maintain it. When you look at your North Star to say, okay, what are the things that I can do that I can keep showing up to and I can maintain every single day? The last thing you want to do is understand the value behind your goals as well. something that we, like, again, what we spoke about before is relating back to your values, relating back to your goals to a relevant why that it makes it so essential that you need to follow the approach that's going to allow you to sustain your results, rather than be like, I'm just going to go to what my friends told me and wanted to do. And sometimes you're probably going to need a coach. You're going to probably need that extra guidance, and that's fine. That's why we do this shit. Because without the amount of looping back to all that access that you have out there from like AI to challenges, stuff like that, that temptation is always going to be there. And it's always going to be tempting. But if you want to think about the lifestyle, you got to think about your identity. You got to think about your why. You got to think about who you want to show up to be. You want to think about that North Star and make the tangible first step actions so you can stack those wins, so you can create, that momentum. Like I think I said that 3 times now. And you will ultimately become that person again because it just works seamlessly for you. I'm going to cut it there because I reckon we can just fucking keep repeating the same thing again and again. But lifestyle and results are 2 different things. The lifestyle is like the result becomes the byproduct if you focus on the lifestyle.
Fuck yeah. Spitting facts.
There's so much you could fucking say about that.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you're right, maintenance is the hardest part. There's a definite excitement about doing the thing really quickly and aggressively to get a result that you're not going to fucking keep anyway.
Yeah.
Unless you have the education around it, unless you know how to actually maintain that result, and you can switch and do all that sort of stuff. But if you're watching this, maybe you do have the education to do that, but the majority of people that would be watching this, it's fucking difficult. It's even difficult for myself. Maybe Dan, I don't know. It's harder because you lose track of what you're doing. If you are in a deficit to lose 5, 10, 15 kilos, whatever that is, at X amount of time by X date, and then you achieve the result, you're like, fuck, where to? Like, sweet. But the chains are off. I can go have all those pieces of food or drinks that I couldn't have before because now I'm fucking free and it's fucking amazing. If you do have a mindset like that, you will revert back to square one, So you can go one of 2 ways. You can still do the deficit in a short period of time, be a bit more strict, but be aware of what you are going to do after. Be aware of what the plan is. Be aware that your goal is now, what are my non-negotiables? As a person, I'm becoming somebody that's fitter, healthier, stronger. I'm becoming someone whose health and fitness is a non-negotiable part of their life. A non-negotiable priority, either visible or invisible, that's just part of my day-to-day because that's just who I am, And then you can start playing around with your personality types, and you can start playing around with what your behavioral types are and how you actually show up day-to-day. Like, why do I actually want why do I want to do that challenge? And why did I want to do keto last week? And why do I feel like joining Ep45 because fucking Susie is? Am I somebody that really just likes that excitement and stimulation and I want to try new things? That's fucking fine. What you need to do is understand that about yourself. Zoom out a little bit, look at the rest of your life. How do I show up in each area? Am I somebody that likes sitting down at work and doing punching spreadsheets? Plenty of people like that. That's fucking fine. Maybe you don't like too much variety. Maybe you're somebody that likes just the constant, consistent grind and you just like that safety and security. That's fine as well. Maybe you just haven't been exposed to the right process of achieving and maintaining results. Once you do, you'll be able to do the thing day after day after day after day. If you're not like that, if you're somebody that needs variety, you want to go to a different place for dinner every week, you want to chat to different people every day, you're somebody that's got an outgoing job, like, more extra, like say Dan and I, we're out there with a lot of people, we come across a lot of personalities. If we were locked in a room with the same person 7 days a week or 5 days a week at work, we'd probably fucking pull our hair out. So you need to also understand that maybe variety is going to be really good for you. Maybe for me, like, I still want that result. I want to lose that weight and I want to be able to maintain it because I don't want to fucking do all this work and just be back at square one. Yeah. First, make sure you frame it like that. I don't want to lose this result. I need a future plan now. If I'm somebody that likes variety, let's write down the things that I actually want to try. I've never thought about this before, but I'm just running it with it now. I want to try lacrosse. I want to try Zumba. I would love to try F45. I would love to try powerlifting. I would love to try. I would love to try netball. Write down the things you'd like to try, and then you can factor that into your life, and you can actually map out a plan for your future. And then you know, okay, I need to be doing something non-negotiable each week. Am I going to do netball for say 4 weeks, and then am I going to do Zumba for 4 weeks, whatever? My food is just going to be, I need variety. How do I keep that variety? I'm going to track my macros. I'm going to track my macros. I'm going to do, if it fits my macros, then it works. Cool. I'm going to be calories, protein, whatever. Then I can have that variety. So I need to make sure I plan my week in advance so I can still achieve that result. I can still maintain that result, but I got that variety there. Figure out what your behavioral type is and start blocking this area out of your life and allocate some time to learning yourself and learning what's going to be best for you next. Because everybody's going to be fucking different. I've never said that before until right now. So that's interesting. I've never really thought about it.
Yeah, I like the behavioral type one because it's true. You know, like some people like set structure. Some people like to be a strict creature of habit. Like, being a creature of habit's a good thing, but it's okay if you're standing there, you say, you know what, I really see value in fitness and health, but I don't want to be just doing this one thing. And I feel like people put themselves in a box where they have to be doing this one certain thing all the fucking time because that's the thing that works. Well, it's not. Fitness and health is flexible, and it can be entirely how you want it to be, as long as you're aligned with it and you want to keep doing it. You want to, you know, enjoy it, because that's the way at least we see it. Well, definitely see it nowadays, is that you can pick your journey. You can ultimately pick where do you want to take this exciting space of your life. And that's what makes it so much fun. People see it so grueling to see. It needs to be this set heavy obligation where they're just in a fucking grind and lock the fuck in and shit like that. Yeah, it takes work. Fitness and health is work, physical work, but it's also an unreal part of your life that really amplifies you as a person, for starters, and other areas in your life. Have fun with it. Try different shit, you know? Broaden yourself out into doing those things, because why not? You know, like something that one of my big, mantras to life is that I personally want to look back, you know, when I'm 40, 50, ideally still obviously living this life because it's who I am, but I want to look back and say, oh, fuck, me and my best mates ran a marathon in Uluru in my 20s. That's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? You could think of it that way, to say, what did I do in my time, you know, like in the past, so you can look back on and say, fuck, that was awesome. And you can still keep living as that. You know, what you do in your 30s, what you do in your 40s, what you do in your 50s, you can have so much fun with it. It's your life, you know.
100%. There's no right or wrongs. Figure out what you give a fuck about. Run with that. Work with that. Try not to work against it, because a lot of people do work against it. There's so much fucking friction, and that is partly, and a lot of the reason why they can't maintain the result as well, because they have so much friction to doing the thing, because it just doesn't align with how they want to show up and how they do show up and what excites them. This area admittedly will be not exciting a lot of the time, and you have to do shit that you don't want to do. You want to fucking at least try to, you know, edge the bets in your favor a little bit. You know, you want to make it a little bit easier for you by, you know, tilting the fucking table towards shit that you like to do. And yeah, otherwise, just live your fucking life. There's no right or wrongs.
Yeah, it's like definitely when you think about like systems, or when you're doing this part, you know, you have this part of your life. The higher percentage of what you're going to have in your, like, as a non-negotiable in your life is the systems that you're just going to keep doing no matter what. And that could be the gym that you want to do. That could be the meal prep and stuff like that, because that's the standard. That's just what you do. That's just who you are. That takes a big chunk of it. That's pretty classic and mundane and boring a lot of the time. But remember, if you just chase the high all the time, remember, if you take out those things, those standards, then you've got to ask yourself, what happens if I don't do those things? And that's where the pain point comes back. That's what makes them essential. So if you ever think of like, I could just do all these things and just flip-flop around, stuff like that, it's not really what we're saying either. It goes back to your system to say, these are your systems and standards for a reason. And if you just take those out now, and put whatever in its place, whatever, what's going to be the result of that? Chances are people start to plateau, people start to, you know, lose momentum, they start to gain the weight back, whatever it may be. So your standards are your standards, they never change. But what you want to do on the surface, bend it how you want it to go, man. have fun with it.
Bend it till it cracks
Bend it like Beckham.
or something. Active lifestyle, chase that shit and you'll be fucking fine.
It's a good time. I think that's...
We better wrap this up.
Yeah, guys, that's the episode. We hope you enjoyed the newest episode 16 of the Split Shift Potty Season 4.
16.
16, man, that's crazy. If you like this
Danny just
episode,
turned 16 last week.
I had my first alcoholic drink. I go for my L's next week. Anyway, but if you're on Spotify and you're listening on that, give us 5 stars. Leave us a rating and also comment on what your thoughts on this podcast episode. And if you're on YouTube, you're looking at our beautiful faces, and we're looking at your beautiful face. Then leave us a like, subscribe. You know, the support is really appreciated, and that's it.
Done?
Yeah.
See you next week.
We'll see you next
Thanks
week.
for fucking coming.
All right, and also let us know which guests you want on our pod episode. I don't know why they were so hard to say.
Don't say David Goggins because he's been unavailable since the last message I sent to him.
Yeah, he's been busy. Bye.